fictional narrative and replicate their writing style. Okay? We have done this at least 2 times before, right? Where we look at a person's writing and then we try to see what they do well, what they don't do well, and then we want to use that in our own writing. Okay? Mind you, I'm on camera right now, so every scolding that I do is in video. So take that hint, boys. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at these pages, okay? And we're going to pick out the things that we would want to do in our writing. All right, so let's take a look at this first section. So this first part right here. Okay, now you all read this yesterday, answered some questions on it. Now I want you to tell me, what are some things in this section that the author did that you could try in your writing? What's something that the author did in that section you could do? Yeah?
Like in the first sentence describe what in its total fur.
Yeah, this first sentence, you can picture the cat, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. You can picture how scrawny it is with its bigger head. You can picture all the things matted in its coat. You can picture the pus coming out of its eyes, right? So the author, James, he does a really good job of describing so that way you can see it. Okay, so yes, absolutely. So put a mark next to that, please. Whether you highlight, I don't know, I can't draw on my board because it's not working. So I would just put like an arrow towards that first line and just put descriptive, okay? All right, what is something else that the author does in this first paragraph? Hopefully you guys figure this out. That is something you could try.
Foreshadowing.
Okay, there is definitely foreshadowing, so you're going to want to put that somewhere. Okay, and how do you think the author foreshadows in this paragraph? Yeah, what do you think?
Telling us how, where he and his brothers used to be, and then him thinking about him and his dad.
Okay.
Used to be.
Yep. Well, eventually that goes on, right? David and Claude might, yeah. Okay, so, well, that's the neighbors. So, yeah, there's definitely some foreshadowing in here. We get to feel the tone that this is negative and it's not good, okay? All right, what else? There's something specific in this paragraph that many of you do not do in your writing. It should be popping out at you. Yeah, Eduardo?
Making a sound?
No. I hope you guys use onomatopoeia. Italics. What are the italics doing? Underline one of the sentences of italics here. Italics are when the words are slanted. So I want you to underline either lucky for you, I was, okay, or you can underline Claude might have decided you'd be good practice for their slingshots. What are they using italics to show here?
What they're thinking.
What they're thinking, yes. What you're thinking during a situation can be really, really important to the story, okay? So you need to put over here something about inner dialogue, all right? Or make sure you circle the words I think, okay? Inner dialogue is what's going on in your brain in a situation. And it's sometimes, not always, a really good idea to bring that up in your writing, okay? So that could definitely be something that you try. You don't have to explain everything, but if I'm having a conversation with Emma and she tells me that she ran 4 miles yesterday and then she ate 5 bowls of ice cream and then baked a pan of brownies and ate the whole pan of brownies, I'm thinking in my head, you are such a liar, right? Because obviously, why would you do that? Okay? So I might want to add that to my story. I might want to add that in, that while she's talking, I'm sitting here thinking, you are such a liar, I think, So including those details of what's going on in your brain during that time is a good idea, okay? Anything else in this section that you see that you're like, all right, I could use this in my writing? Yeah?
Could we say something that we probably should not go off of?
What do you mean?
Because they don't indent their paragraphs.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not talking about punctuation at all today. We're only talking about things that you should try in your writing. Yeah, we're not, so the formatting of everything is different because it was pulled from somewhere, okay? So the formatting is not on them at all. So I want you guys to move I want you to move past, because everybody in first and second round wanted to say, well, they did a really good job putting periods at the end of their sentences. We're in 6th grade, we already should know that, right? So we're gonna move past that. So now, what are things that this author does that you can try in your writing? So we already talked about really descriptive up here, okay? The use of adjectives, whatever it may be, all right? We can also talk about, well, we talked about the inner dialogue. Okay, what else does this author do in this first section? Do you have this copied down? The things that I've been talking about? Okay. Yeah?
The author sets the mood for the story.
Absolutely. You should put a note somewhere over here just to say, or the tone or the mood for the story. The author automatically sets a tone by this first sentence. A sad mood, right? And we should get that from reading that first sentence right away. It's like, oh, poor kitten, okay? That's just a couple of the things I guess we can pick out from the top. But I'm going to have us move down to the second section. What does the author do in this personal narrative that many of you do not do that I just mentioned in my last sentence? Yes?
Italic.
No. I literally just said it in my last sentence.
Oh.
Add period.
No.
Sets a tone.
No. Yes, Marcelina. What? I'm pointing at it right now. There's no headings, Ethan. What am I?
can't know
What did this author do? Spencer. No, it's not splitting paragraphs. That's no, it's not it. Yes.
A different page.
No, it's not a different page.
Oh,
Yes.
transition.
Huh?
Transition.
Well, there's of course transitions, but no.
Spacing between different scenes.
It is different scenes, yes. I literally just said, this is not just one personal narrative. Is it on?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's on?
Okay, do you want to shut my window for me?
What's on?
The air. Thank you, school. Okay, so, this will be on YouTube. They'll know I think the school. You guys, this author does not just tell one personal narrative. Yes, by the way, this is a 6th grade author. This whole thing is a 6th grade story, because they said, so in 5 or 6 years before I work for Dr. Milk, right? Which means that they are 10 when they're writing this, okay? So this author starts the story by setting the scene, and then goes down to this part. Why do we have this part here? Why do we go and talk about now about how he'll work for Dr. Milk someday, and about the dog that's not really his dog? Why is this important? Ethan?
Because he's talking about his life.
He is talking about his life, yes.
He's telling the readers that he really wants a pet.
He is. This is his way. This section right here is his way. Huh? No, I will, though. Thank you. Somebody remind me to count green by the end of the hour. This is the author's way of really showing you how much he wants an animal. Okay? This author wants a pet to call his own. All right? And this section right here is supposed to display that for you. Okay, so I need you to make some sort of note over here. You can write sideways, I don't care what you do, but you need to write the purpose for this section, okay? So you can write purpose equals to show how much the author wants a pet. So please write that next to it. We're in the bottom section now. Gato? I can't hear you. Deaf. I said I'm deaf. All right, are we ready? Is there anything in this section that you see that the author does really well that you could try in your writing? Yeah?
He tells like almost a whole paragraph about his dog Puppy.
He does. What does he do in that paragraph though? This paragraph right here.
He was telling like the people reading it that like his dad kind of takes Bucky away from him, even though Bucky's his dog.
So what's the function of that paragraph in this story? What is it trying to do? We talked about it already. Yeah, it's trying to show you how much he really wants a pet for himself. But what else does that paragraph do for you? Especially this line. Or wait, where is it? But saying a thing is so doesn't mean it is. Saying a dog is yours doesn't mean it really is. That's what he's trying to portray, get across to you. Yeah?
Maybe that he pretty much doesn't, that he thinks that the dog isn't his, so he doesn't have anything that's his.
Yes. But it's trying to give us basically a little bit of emotion. It's trying to show us, okay, so I want you to write emotion somewhere over here by these two. Because especially this last line, like they're trying to get you to realize, like even though you say something is yours, it doesn't mean that it really is. And they're trying to evoke that emotion in you of maybe you've had, like, I don't know, something that you thought was yours, but it really wasn't because somebody lied. I don't really know, okay? I know, lying's bad. So you need to put that this section is really trying to evoke emotion within you, the reader, okay? All right, we're gonna go down to the next section. The deer hunt. All right, let's talk about this deer hunt section. And then the table. So turn to the back of your page. I don't know if this is in the same spot. Okay, why do we have this deer hunting section? Because this has nothing to do with the cat right now, right? The cat still comes in down here. Up here, we're not even talking about the cat. What is this section supposed to do? Yeah?
Describe more about his family.
It does. It describes more about his family. Be more specific.
His personality.
Yes, but what specific part of his personality?
How he doesn't like to kill animals.
He does not like to kill animals. This section needs to tell you that. And what is that doing for us? The word we talked about before. F word. Foreshadowing! Not the You guys. Oh, gosh. This section... In this section, you should have understood that he does not like to kill animals, right? He talks about deer hunting and how he wants to go because he wants his dad to like him. But he does not want to go to actually shoot the deer. And then he sees this venison and he's like, "Whoa," right? He's like, "No, I can't even imagine eating that animal." So what do you think this is foreshadowing? The fact that he's saying he does not like to kill animals. Yes?
That he wants the cat to live.
He wants the cat to live, yes. Please make sure you make a note about this section is supposed to basically tell you how much he wants to keep the animal. He does not like killing animals. You could do it. Okay. This bottom is the one that we had the question about yesterday. The slab of gray meat. You need to write word choice next to here, please. Why am I having you write word choice next to it? Yes, I understand that venison technically is a little grayer than other meat, but why am I having you write this down? What is he trying to do with that sentence?
He's trying to make it seem like you're looking through his eyes.
Well, yes, but what is he trying to make, like, yeah?
Trying to make it so that it looks disgusting and sounds disgusting.
Yeah, he's trying to make it grosser than maybe it actually seems, because he's trying to still evoke to you how much he hates it, right? Yeah, Ruby?
It's kind of like he's almost trying to persuade you that it's not.
Absolutely. It would be like me writing a very descriptive sentence about broccoli and how much I hate it by calling it, I can't even think of anything negative. No. It'd be like eating a green tree. That wouldn't taste very good. No. Either way, so the author is really trying to be descriptive. Please stop. The author is really trying to be descriptive to get you to be like, oh, that's gross. Again, trying to evoke a little emotion out of you. Okay, we're going to do this one. Actually, what's the one thing that you see in this section? Right away, when you look at this next section, what do you see?
Dialogue.
Dialogue. And they have it split, right? So, mom is talking here, I'm talking here, mom's talking there, I'm talking here. Do you see how it splits every time somebody new talks?
Mhm.
Okay? Even if it's a back and forth conversation with your mom, you still, she does, I do, she does, I do. Okay? You want to make sure that you separate them. All right? Okay, we've been going at this way too long. So here's what you guys are going to do. I am asking of you for the rest of the hour, okay, to mark up the rest of this. If you have an idea for a personal narrative that you want to implement some of the stuff that we just talked about up here, you can go ahead and start writing your next personal narrative if you want. But if you're still kind of stuck, like you don't know what you want to do yet, I want you just to go through the rest of this story and find things that the author does that you could put into your own writing. Yes?
When is our next personal narrative due?
It's going to be due on Thursday. So your next rough draft personal narrative is going to be due on Thursday. So if you choose today to just go through the rest of this and find things that you could put into your writing, that's fine. You'll have tomorrow to also to start writing, okay? But otherwise, if you have an idea and you saw things in here that you're like, I want to put this into action right now, you can do that. Yeah?
Can you remind us up to Thursday that we had?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. We'll talk about it tomorrow, too.
Okay.
Yep.
Can we
Okay.
Hold on.
Are we going to be doing it on paper or?
Nope, you're doing it on, yes, you're doing it in your notebook again, okay? This is going to be our fourth draft, our fourth personal narrative now. Okay, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna ask once we're done writing it if we wanted to type it.
Nope, we're not typing it yet, because what's going to happen is in 2 weeks, you are going to choose one that you're going to say is kind of like, it's your favorite story and it's like, okay, and you're gonna turn it into this, okay? You're gonna turn it into like fabulous, amazing, the best story I've ever read, but it's true. It's a true story, okay? Maybe you have one that's already like that, which is awesome. We'll see. Marcelina was like, yeah, mine is. Yeah. All right, so you guys can either, your options, are you ready? I'm gonna reiterate them one more time. You can go through, stop moving, please. You can go through this, listening. You can go through this with a partner for the rest of the hour, and I would like to see some things written down. Or if you're like, nope, I don't want to do that, I want to start writing my next personal narrative, you can start doing that. Okay? Yes?
If you want to choose your personal narrative first, do you still have to do this at some point?
No. No. Yes. Okay, I'm going to stop the video. You know what you're doing.